you see a black line and a red line. These are two separate systems. Let's take the black line first. You have 1 and 1 is 2, 2 and 2 is 4, 4 and 4 is 8, 8 and 8 is 16, which is 1 and 6 is 7, 7 and 7 is 14, 1 and 4 is 5, 5 and 5 is 10, 1 and 0 is 1, so you're back at 1. In the center you see the 0. So this pattern is the pattern of the torus. Let's put it on our crater and you'll see that's a perfect match. Let's take the red line. So you have the 3, 6, 9 pyramid. How do you create the inversion? Well, 1 and 2 is 3, 7 and 8 is 15, 1 and 5 is 6, then 5 and 4 is 9. That is how you create the inversion. Now what is the first mirror in the universe? Because this system is doubling like in nature, and this system is mirroring, the first one must be organic and the second one synthetic. So the synthetic one has to be the invader. In comes the Analemma. The moon is the reflection of the bigger Earth, but it is going in slow motion. 1 month moon time is 1 day Earth time. When we look at the movement of the moon, it is going in Analemma. All phenomena on our planet are following the same pattern. So we are not in the land of the moving poles. We ourselves are going in the Analemma every day. Let's recapitulate.
Recapitulate.
The red arrow is the rotation of the Earth. In the first movement, you go with the flow. Second movement, you go against the flow. With the flow is easy. It's called heaven. Against the flow is very hard. It is called hell. Because we are inside a mirror ball, we experience the infinite mirror effect, the geocentric model, time layers. Every separate layer moves in an analemma, like an eternal echo. This means that our consciousness is going through a life and death experience, the start of the reincarnation cycle. The Solomon star, symbol of heaven. The VW sign, symbol of hell. Red pill and blue pill are two sides of the same coin. So where is the parasite? Is there a parasite? Why would they be lying to us? So we live in a crater. This crater map dates from 1250. The crater map has 3 continents. Then something happens. Our crater is flooded and you get the creation of some new continents. In the Renaissance, a group of people, for some reason, start to con the world. They want to put the world on a little blue ball flying in space. How do you get from this map to this one? On the medieval map you have only 3 continents. The first thing you do is rotate the map to the east And then you put the European map on top of it. In my view, it all starts with the Framoro map. Now in the same time they start to pump Roman maps into the public. They call it reconstructions. But in the reconstructions you start seeing the European silhouette. These are the precursors of the Mercator map. But then you say, hey, where are the Americas? Where is Australia? No worries. Let's create another circle. Let's send some explorers around the world and discover the new continents. Now how do you get these circles onto a ball? You create a mathematical formula, the Mercator projection. Et voilà! Now the second trick they played on us in the Renaissance was the removal of the geocentric model. And they replaced it with the solar system. Space! And to stop resistance, put a few people on the fire stack and the rest will stay silent. Where you used to have two movements of the Earth, namely rotation and wobble, you only have one movement left, the rotation. So by introducing the solar system, you now have entered the land of the flying balls. And this brings us to the most recent dirty trick they played on us. Because we now have images from the thermosphere, the German Teutonic Knights discover the bigger Earth. Because the challenge is too big for the Germans, the war is ended. Part of the Teutonic Knights goes to the east, the other part goes to the west. Now the colonization of the bigger Earth has started.
Now, in larger scale on this map, our Florida land is located partly in Orange County.
And now, here is Walt Disney.
Welcome to a little bit of Florida here in California. This is where the early planning is taking place for our so-called Disney World project.
Disney World is code word for this new world. The new bigger Earth. Keyword in the deception is television.
Walt Disney's Disneyland.
When you wish upon a star,
designed for a four-stage orbital rocket ship. Compared to the unmanned instrument rocket, it is quite large. But the overall size and weight of the rocket is mainly determined by the inevitable.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Let's go back to the solar system. If the Earth has only one movement, we can use the solar clock. For the solar clock, you only need one clock hand. The other two are divisions. But what would the clock be looking like if the Earth has two movements? The first movement is rotation around its axis. Rotation is the small clock hand. The second part is the wobble. Half of the analemma is going back in time, half is going forward in time. Let's say that the second clock hand is showing the wobble. The first half it is going back in time, and the second half it is going forward in time. The first 12 hours it is going back in time. The second part it is shooting forward, going 3 times faster. 3 hours become 1. Small clock hand, rotation of the Earth. Big clock hand, the wobble, the solar bark. Let's say the Earth is a life form, then the wobble would be another life form. The solar bark has 2 symbols. The first is the Fa. It is making the VW pattern. The second one is the counter-rotating Solomon star system. This means it is going back in time. Now let's concentrate on the part that is going back in time.
Eurydice, a nymph, dies on her wedding day. Orpheus, her husband and a gifted musician, descends to the underworld to plead with Hades to release her. Hades agrees on one condition. Orpheus must lead Eurydice out of the underworld without looking back. Despite warnings, Orpheus looks back, losing Eurydice forever.
If you want Eurydice back, you have to go to hell. You have to go back in time. Go to the moment just before Eurydice dies. Maybe like Superman?
According to Greek mythology, ancient humanity shivered in darkness, unaware of the existence of fire. The gods of Olympus, led by Zeus, kept this powerful gift for themselves. Prometheus, a titan with compassion for mortal beings, saw their desperate condition and made a fateful choice. Defying the supreme will of Zeus, he stole the divine fire from Mount Olympus and gave it to humanity.
That would mean we received the divine power of going back in time. What is going forward in time? Once the first domino stone has fallen, all the rest has to follow. There is no free will, only logic. When you are going back in time, there is no logic. There is only the choice of the moment. Where am I going to put the next domino stone? In the underworld, it's not about logic, it's about energy and willpower. It might all have something to do with timelines. Let's say you are sick. Now you have to move from the timeline where you are sick to the timeline where you are healthy. because we are going back in time. We are the creators. Now people will say, no, God is the creator. God is flying around in paradise. Everybody is happy. Everything is organic. In comes the solar bark. The human consciousness is split in two parts, the Ammon and the Aton, the Adam, living in the flying ball circus. Spring, summer, autumn, winter. The summer part is Ammon and the autumn part is Aton. The Aton is going back in time and is creating a new reality for the organic gods. Now the Aton has become the creator. Now we are creating our own world. Or, wait a minute. We have become the slaves of a master. The parasites, building their world.
What if humans were created as slaves? The Anunnaki's gold mining operation might just explain our origins. The Anunnaki didn't just come for gold, they needed humans to mine it. Sitchin's controversial theory suggests that the Anunnaki genetically engineered us to serve as laborers. Could we really be the result of an ancient alien experiment?
Is it about moving the ark to Jerusalem? Where is the beast? Let me wrap this up. Because we are living in reverse, there can be no logic, only manifestation. You want something, you manifest it. I want to make a painting, I paint it. But the parasite has convinced us that there is logic, his logic. So now we are manifesting the logic of the parasites. We are building the machine. Strangely enough, the machine is a copy of mankind. That makes me believe that they want to replace us, and they want us to manifest it. Like this moron.
However, the most intelligent inhabitants of that future world won't be men or monkeys. They'll be machines, the remote descendants of today's computers. Now, the present-day electronic brains are complete morons. But this will not be true in another generation. They will start to think, and eventually they will completely outthink their makers. Is this depressing? I don't see why it should be. We superseded the Cro-Magnon and Neanderthal men, and we presume we're an improvement. I think we should regard it as a privilege to be stepping stones to higher things.
So the solution is that we have to find a way to manifest the death of the parasite. Immediately, the matrix will implode. And we all will be back in paradise. One day, I hope to see you all there. Until then, bye for now. Bye.
Israel is not the Jewish state.
This is not a Jewish state. It's a Zionist terrorist state.
It is a Zionist terrorist state.
Correct.
So why is it that they don't consider you? Look, a Jewish person is against that. Are you anti-Semitic?
Let me ask you, am I anti-Semitic?
Tell me, that's what they want to say. Anyone who's against them is anti-Semitic. You're a Jew, yet you're against them.
But the difference between Judaism and Judaism is a religion, Zionism is nationalism. This has nothing to do with anti-Semitic. We Jews lived in peace with the Palestinian people hundreds of years, so we lived in peace and we can still live in peace. It's only because Zionism is the philosophy of there's a political movement.